Hello, hello. This is the Donbozos podcast, and welcome to our first episode of 2024. My name is Aiden, and of course, I'm joined by my host, Jeremy. Jeremy, how are we doing tonight?
We're doing great. Another episode, and there's a lot of league stuff, and there's some very interesting Pokemon stuff that's happening too.
Yeah, for sure. And we can't. Hey, new year, new guest, baby. I don't know if you guys remember, but during our holiday episode for our last season, we introduced all of our players for Booth Gaming, which is our new partner, our new Pokemon TCG team. So today we are joined by a special guest, Carl. How are we doing tonight?
Yo. It's good, man. Probably the first podcast that I'm officially a part of, so it's gonna be a fun time. Hopefully, it's gonna be a fun time.
And this is great because was it guests in the past have only been really specialized in like one area, whether it be League or Pokemon. But this is gonna be great because Carl, you're here for both sections, which is perfect. We don't have that like awkward you just smiling at the camera for a really long time, like Rector. Nothing wrong with Rector, but hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. So very, very huge episode today. New Year's, new regionals, new season for League. Let's go ahead and hop into what we're going to get into for this episode. We're going to go ahead and jump into, of course, our local recap. Jeremy, I know you're home and you can't go to a local right now, but we're still going to go hop into that local recap. We're going to then go head into Portland Regional. We're going to talk about Carl's record, his time there, and, of course, the top 8 to 16 decks, as well as a couple of Day 2 shout-outs to our friends. Then we're going to go into the Bradner versus Gearhart match that just ended today. We just decided to put it on there. I was driving home with Douglas, and he was like, you got to put it on the podcast. It's hella funny. We're going to go ahead and talk about that grudge match really quickly. And then, of course, we're going to go into our favorite section, what is he cooking? And then we're going to hop into League, which is Season 14. I'm not going to go over all the sub-details because we are going to go over it all. So it is currently 11:03 p.m., January 14th on a Sunday night. Before we get into the episode, Jeremy, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
No, I'm excited to get started with this episode.
Yeah. All right, so then let's get started. We're gonna go into local recap. Jeremy, before we hop into me and Carl's locals, did you even go to one while you're at home?
No, I've been only playing with Fernand, but I haven't really gone to a local, so trying to get him into the Pokemon game, like physical at least. He's been playing on live a bit, but hasn't been playing too much IRL.
For sure. All right, we're going to go ahead and jump into our local recap. We only got one local to recap, which is the Card House 88 Challenge, which happened last Monday. Carl and I both went. So we're going to go ahead and just hop into kind of like what happened. I went in with the Palkia Ice Rider Calyrex deck, the just only the 1/1 line version, the more consistent version, and I went 4-1 with a solid third place. So top 4 was the kicker, so I did get some points. Not like I'm going for Worlds, but the prize was nice. I got $30 in-store credit. I did really well. I did. My game 1, I was kind of sacked because he forgot to put out his prize cards, which is a game loss. But it was whatever. And then the one game I lost, I was playing into the mirror and I just bricked. I didn't find a single Irida the whole game, so he just had an advantage. But hey, I will take the solid 4-1 in a challenge. I haven't done well in a challenge in a decent amount of time. So yeah, Carl, how did you do? I know how you did, but why don't you explain to the podcast? How'd you do?
I mean, at that challenge, it was not really good, but I do say I did redeem myself at another.
Oh yeah, you would. Yeah, go ahead and talk about that one.
So I'll talk about the first one because we were both at that one. So at that challenge, I gave into my demons and I finally went Lost Box Tina. My first matchup was with one of the best Lost Box Tina players in the goddamn local, which was Aiden F.
Other Aiden, yeah.
Yeah, we basically tied. I mean, I was already proud of myself because I tied with Aiden, which he's already like super good with the fucking deck. So I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. But then the next few rounds, my second round was with Iron Valiant, which not good matchup. I never got to set up anything. And then on my third matchup, I went against Roaring Moon with the guy that basically sold his soul to God to get good draws off of that deck. Brandon Bond. If Brandon's listening to this, big massive respect for giving up your soul, brother. But goddamn, I scrubbed out. I just left, and I basically just dipped out. I didn't even say goodbye to the people. I was.
Yeah, you did. I was like, where did he go? And then James was like, oh, he dropped. I was like, oh.
It was bad, man. But then
Tuesday, so the very next day.
The very next day, I had to leave the homies for trivia because the homies were doing trivia, but I had to redeem myself or I was gonna quit the game entirely. I was like, if I don't do good in an event, bro, I'm scrubbing out. But for this event at the Great Mall Challenge in Milpitas, it was pretty good. I went in with Rapid Strike. I knew what I was doing because it's been a deck that I've been playing ever since I started playing Pokemon again. I went in, first match was against a Goldango, couldn't set up. I devoed every time, easy match. And then second, I went against an Iron Valiant box, which had Shadow Rider Calyrex in it. I was like, wait. What? He came out with Shadow Rider Calyrex and the Zatu engine, and I was like, ping ping, loop the 50 HP Zatu. I was like, okay, I was feeling good. But then I think my closest one was probably against Teen on Lost Box.
Yeah.
So I was like, I already knew the matchup going in. It's a Lost Box, so I should be pretty favored. But I think in that matchup, it's like 50-50, especially if it's the Tina version. So I just got a hot start. He couldn't really set up. He is beseeking twice in a row, which was pretty bad because he really didn't get an engine going. And after he abyss seeking, he managed to like lost zone a lot of disruptions cards early, like Roxanne, and then he couldn't draw into another Roxanne once I was under 3 prize cards. So at the end of the game, it was chalked. And I gotta shout out the homie for IDing with me. Because I was going to go against Iron Valiant Urshifu. But I was like, dude, we can ID now. I want the first place. I just want to validate myself. I don't want to. And I got the challenge win. I was like, cool. I got the challenge win. I got it off my chest, and I'm good. So that's how my weekend.
Now we can't even go to trivia night this Tuesday because Guildhouse is getting some renovations.
That sucks, though.
Yeah. Hey, but I forgot to shout out fellow Booth Gaming Reckner Lugardo taking the dub at the challenge that we were at on Monday. So you can't with the Guardian Reunion, dude. He finally got a challenge win, and then on Friday when we hung out at 88 to play test, he was like, "I'm going to another event, dude. I'm on a hot streak." Goes 4-0 with Zard, with Sable Zard, dude. He is on a hot streak right now. This guy is not touching Yu-Gi-Oh for a while. All right.
Crazy.
So that is going to end up for a local recap, but we got a regional recap because although Jeremy and I did not go to Portland, Mr. Carl went to Portland Regional. That happened last weekend on January 5th and 6th. Or no, 6th and 7th? 6th and 7th. So yeah, before we head into how Carl did, let's go ahead and talk about our top 8 decks. Because Jeremy, I seen Arceus here, and I don't like it. So let's go ahead and talk about our top 8 decks. And then we'll talk about Carl's run, and then we'll shout out so many more things that we want to talk about for Portland Regional. So in the finals, we had LZ Tina versus LZ Tina. Jeremy, I knew you were watching. I know you've seen this match. Give us your thoughts.
Yeah.
Portland Regional. So, sorry for the technical difficulties. Jeremy's stuff is getting technical difficulties. Anyways, Jeremy, finals LZ Tina versus LZ Tina. Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, not surprised that the 2 LZ Tinas made it. I think the deck is pretty strong. It's just that, I mean, we kind of saw what happened with LZ Tina. It kind of loses to itself sometimes.
Yeah. Carl, thoughts? Anything?
It was watching paint dry. Once I saw that it was LZ Tina versus LZ Tina in the finals, I just turned it off and I was like, that.
Yeah. It was Roxanne Wars. It just got boring, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah, so we got top 8 here. We got 2 Mews. We got a Guardian, Marion, a Zard, and a Tina. Probably one of the more, I would say, kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's all over the place. Like it's
very diverse.
Diverse. There we go. It's diverse. We finally got, besides finals, we finally got a diverse top 8. Let's go ahead and talk about Makani's list. Makani's been on this arc for so long. He was the one who first played like Arceus Espeon back in Lugia meta. So very, very happy to see Arceus back. Taking a look at this list, we are looking at the Archgigas Zacian deck. This deck was actually played at not Portland. We're talking about Portland right now, right? What was the regional before Portland?
Let me
It
check.
was
San Antonio. San Antonio. This
San
deck was top 64 in San Antonio. Makani picked it up
Yep.
as well. Very, very interesting deck. It is a little bit different than San Antonio. Big Sharon's Care deck. What do we have to say about this one? What are we thinking?
I mean, it's pretty interesting. It's just basically Sharon's Care deck. Regigigas is just huge, which is I think the main reason that it's played over the other ones. And then you have Zacian V. Zacian V does do like tons of damage, and also has the Intrepid Sword. So even if you miss turn one attach, you get an Intrepid Sword to get the attach on.
Yeah. I think the Roar of the, I think it's Roar of the Sword.
Yeah.
Intrepid Sword is
Yeah.
the other guy. But I think
Yeah.
hey man, Path Judge is a hell of a drug. So if
There's only one judge. There's only one judge.
Oh no, Path Iono. Path Iono is a hell of a drug, bro. Once you put Path down, half of the decks in top 8 doesn't even work, bro. So
yeah, and Gigas
all of them except for
Gigas being the biggest V star in the format. So like it's like anything that's 300 or plus usually use V Max, which is then a 3-pricer, which isn't worth because then you do Arcus into V Max into Kill the Barrel, right? I mean, Jeremy, you've been playing Arc the Barrel for so long, but the Gigas V Star swinging for what 230, killing hands, killing Moon perfectly. It's kind of good. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, shout out to Makani hitting up with the Arceus, and yeah, just really good times. Do we have any other decks we want to get into before we move on?
I gotta shout out my homie that almost made it to top 8, number 15, Joshua O'Reilly with that Rapid Strike list. So I was like, I was kind of shocked. I thought that Rapid Strike was gonna get up there, but then he there's like a wall of Mew right up there, and I was like, okay, never mind. I don't think he's gonna make it up there, bro. It's like, ooh. So shout out to the guy. Shout out to the dude.
Jeremy?
Yeah, the wall of Mew is quite scary.
I want to talk about Miraidon because Jeremy, we've mentioned this on the pod before, but it never shows presence, but it always sticks at top 8 every time, like every single time. And the thing is Miraidon is better now than when we were talking about it before. Just crazy to see how not very Miraidon's in the top 64. Number 23 as well, Jeremy. Arc Superior. I know you hate Superior. But yeah. So, Carl, why don't you tell us your experience in Portland?
I came like the main thing that I took away from Portland was I came in with the same deck. Probably all the people that probably play with me will probably guess what deck I was gonna play at Portland. I was down to 2 decks. I was highly debating running Moon that tournament, but I was like, no, I gotta go with tried and tested Rapid Strike. And then unfortunately, scrubbed out. Unfortunate because I bumped into too many mirrors, so I went into a lot of Rapid Strike mirrors. So it's like
which sucks.
which sucks. It's like with how bricky the deck is, it's basically the first person that does the rapid flow wins the matchup, or does like a yoga loop super early wins the matchup. But when I ran into too many mirrors, and then I got my first DPP in my career history, so I was like, this is not the regionals for me, bro. So yeah, it was chill. The homies were fun. Shout out to Matt and Dan, which I literally bumped into round 2 of the goddamn regional. 1,500 people, dude, and I bumped into the homie Dan.
Casualties in locals and out of locals, bro.
like when I saw Dan's name pop up on the matchups, I was like, oh my! And this is right after my round 1. Which was Snorlax stall, bro. I was like, oh. And then I gotta shout out Vic, one of the homies that I tested with Rapid Strike, which we also finalized 60 for Rapid Strike. I ran 4 Iono during that tournament, which actually helped me tie the fucking Snorlax stall matchup.
Nice.
She was like, I played 2 Iono, and she was looking at my discard. She was like, oh, you already played 2 Ionos. Probably play 3. My first deck check, I was like, oh, all 4 Ionos are here. Let's go, baby. Every time she missed Fortune Sisters, she always misses because all of my items are already in my hand. I was like, oh, it feels good, baby. It feels good. We tied game 1. We didn't even go to game 2. I was like, I'm proud of that already. So, I mean, Portland was cool, but yeah, too many mirror matchups. And shout out to the homie that I bumped into at round 7 playing Serena EX.
W deck.
W big dub. So Portland was fun, but hopefully someday I'll get a day 2, and hopefully win the Poke card someday.
I'm hoping all of Booth makes day 2 at LA. That's the big one. Every Booth member is going to LA, except Douglas, but I think he's changing his mind. So let's go ahead and hop into a big event that actually just happened like 3 hours ago. Finished up like 3 hours ago. We got the Salty Sweet, the Grudge match, the Money match. We got the best of 9, Brandner versus Gearheart on a Zul GG stream. And let me tell you, I was just at a graduation party for my friend Jaden, who actually been on the podcast before. And we just put it on the TV and we were watching it as we were eating food and stuff like that. And let me tell you, it was a breeze for Brandner, taking the dub 5-3. But not only was it 5-3, it was a 5-game sweep for Brandner. Gearheart was up 3-0 and managed to lose the whole thing 5-3. Shoutouts to Brandner, making LZ Tina still look strong, even online. And Brandner played the standard LZ Tina, 1 Manaphy, 1 Cram, pretty standard. I like the 4 Jets, and the 2 Boss, which is kind of good. And then Gearheart was running the Deoxys V-Star Guardy. So, let me hear thoughts. Let's start with Jeremy.
Yeah. Well, so I'll just go with Brandon's list first. It's pretty standard. I think the main thing he has for the specific matchup is he has the 1 Avery in here. A lot of the Latino decks don't run it. I think that's like huge for the matchup. And then Gearhart's list has the Deoxys line, which I think has mainly only been him playing it so far. Like his test group, him and like his test group. I'm not sure it's good for this matchup, but I see the reason to run it because like the main thing is like hands. Like this deck, if you're playing against a hands deck, this deck struggles a lot. So I think it's a cool inclusion, but I'm not sure if it's that important. This BO9.
Yeah, I like the message Avery. Talk about Avery because there's one game where he hand attached water to Greninja and then Avery. So then it forces Gearheart to be like, okay, do I discard the Manaphy? But no, because maybe he has the Greninja. But it was the biggest bluff. He didn't even want to swing at the Greninja. So it was a cool time. Carl, let me hear your thoughts on Gearheart versus Brandner here.
At first, these are the most hated decks in my very soul, so I hate both of these decks. I was just looking, I was like, who's bricking the most? And for 3 straight games, I see either Brandner start Giratina and then Giratina V with no energies, and then 2 Rock Sands and 1 Path, and I was like, this dude's cooked. And then for 1 game, he starts Manaphy and then passes. I was like, okay, bud, okay, I don't think this is looking too good. But then, Lost Zone Tina, I lost box deck, always manages to pull out its outs. And what Jeremy said, Avery is really good in the deck. Especially with the Gearheart. Basically just loading up his bench super early. Did not expect to be Avery that many times in this series, but I'm glad Brandner with the Path to the Peak series buff, because I think he's part of that. He was part of that YouTube series where they followed him around at a championship event or something like that. So with a big ass buff like that, I don't think he had too much armor, and he dubbed it out. And I gotta give him respect because it's a Path deck, so I probably was going with Brandner on this one. I was like, I see Path of the Peak, and I'm like, okay, even though you're Lost Box, I'll give you props because you're a Path deck, so I'll give you a massive handshake for that.
Yeah, but Jeremy and I mentioned this a lot, but I still think that Guardy is the best deck, and Tina's a close second. Just Brandner's, I'm gonna say he's just a better player. I'm not gonna lie to you. Brandner's he's got better placements than Gearheart. In Booth Gaming, we see Gearhart as a big yapper in the Twitter community of Pokemon. So, hey, I'm glad Bradner won, and I'm glad he swept 5 games in a row.
Hey man, he once Iron Hands came out, Gearhart was on that train as much as he's like, shove this Pokemon in every deck possible, and I'm like, okay, bud, just chill down a bit. It was like, we good.
All right, Carl. Why don't you, speaking of grudge matches and stuff like that, why don't you talk about what the next grudge match that the Pokemon community just released?
Oh yeah. Right after this show match, which what really did good numbers, especially during Azul stream, collected around like
1,900. Yeah.
1,900 viewers peak, and then across all his platforms, probably like 1,000 average viewers on YouTube, Twitch. I think YouTube and Twitch were like the main streaming channels for Azul. But with that, the Shuffle Squad and Dead Draw Gaming also announced they're gonna hold a charity event, a 9v9 charity event, which pits their players against TSS players against the DDG players. So that's, I mean, they're riding the high. People like, once people showed interest that they're super interested in like show matches and stuff like that, I think we're gonna see more of these show matches real soon, and hopefully Boof's got to be part of a show match soon, man. But
I think we have enough members to do just like a Boof show match. Like, that's what's great. And I think what's really great about this is it kind of reminds me of like Beyond the Summit, these show matches, where you get these top players coming together and just doing some streams. Because one thing that I've talked about with a lot of Boof members, especially with Douglas and Matt, is these like gaming tournaments that happen, like Beyond the Summit, like majors and like show matches. Pokemon doesn't do it because yes, it's a card game, but we have an online client, and not only that, it's a streamable game. Like, they stream it every regional. Mahone's got a good setup at his content creation side. Like, you get that top side camera, and it's a great time, man. I don't know. I'm down. This could be a perfect. We got to talk to Matt and Reckner about it, but I'm down to do some Boof matches. We were talking with Tofu's about getting a content creation space with them. Gio just picked up the Classic Collection board, Jeremy, which I forgot to tell you about. So he's saying that we can use that for the podcast. Man, there are so many options, not only for bigger content creators than us to do stuff like this, but even for the podcast and for Booth Gaming. So I'm really excited. Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited to see more of these. I just also like get more eyes. I remember in the past there was a Team EU versus Team Japan, where it's like a 7-man thing where it's like a 7v7, but then like each of them had to play different decks. There weren't that many eyes on it, but like I think with this match, people show that like people are interested if it's like just not like publicized, I guess. So that would be sick, because I remember seeing Tord play and shit. Like, that just, it's like all online. You just see all the Japan, like a lot of good Japanese players play. I think it would be cool if we like can interact with like the other regions.
For sure. All right, we're going to go ahead and hop into our final segment of Pokemon, a fan favorite, our most popular returning segment. What is he cooking? Jeremy, go ahead and explain. What is he cooking for us?
So what is he cooking is Aiden and I go find a deck from PokemonCard.io, I think. Yeah, PokemonCard.io, and then we just see whose deck list is cooking harder.
Yep, and today, since we have a guest, Carl gets to choose which deck is cooking harder. Usually we let YouTube comments or YouTube poll vote, but this time we got Carl here today. So Carl, we are going to pitch our deck ideas to you, and you will vote on what is he and who is cooking harder. So I will go first. I think Jeremy won this one just from a preface, but hey, look, let's just see what we have here. All right, so we have the Orthworm Magnezone. Okay, so if those of you who don't know, metal decks have been kind of in a slump because no Metal Saucer, but we still got support, baby. All right, we got the Astral Radiance Magnezone, Giga Magnet, where you look at the top 6 cards and then you attach any number of Metal Energy cards you find there onto your Pokemon in any way you like, and shuffle the deck afterwards. And it's not a hard once per turn. We also have Bronzong. As often as you like, you may move a Metal Energy from one of your Pokemon to another. All right, so we got infinite energy switches. We got insane Metal Energy Turbo, better than Electric Generator, my personal opinion. We got the Dialga V-Star just to have it there, just in case if you want to use it, skip a turn. I know Carl enjoys skipping some turns. We got Yogaloop rotating.
You got Gucci Yogaloop, bro. Let's go.
Yes, sir. And of course, we have the premier Orth Worm. And if those of you don't know what Orth Worm is, if you have 3 or more metal energy attached to this Pokemon, you get 100 plus HP. So we got a basic single prizer at 230 HP, swinging for 100 damage. May not seem like much, hey, but when we're skipping turns and having 230 single prizers, you're bound to beat some decks, all right? Of course, we got the Skwovet, the barrel engine, and I don't know why, but he's using this other Skwovet. I don't even know what it does. Hold on, let me read. Scrouge, put a Pokemon tool for your discard pile into your hand. Hey, you may need it. You may need it. All right, we got bravery charms. All right. But yeah, this is our what is it cooking list. Jeremy, what do you think about this one?
I mean, the Magnezone Bronzong, you're just getting infinite energy and infinite, like, you're just moving around with the Dialga to skip turns. Earthworm is basically like a it has like the HP pool of a 2 prizer, but only your opponent only get 1 prize for it. Seems kind of broken.
Yeah, and with Cape of 330 HP, just saying, like.
Yeah, it's a V max HP on a V. Add that one with the cape on.
All right, so that is what I'm cooking, or what this guy's cooking, and I decided to highlight his deck. Jeremy, why don't you go ahead and present your deck?
So we have the Steelix Dodrio deck. So Dodrio has the ability that can put a damage counter on itself to draw a card, and then it can do up to 280 damage if you have 9 like damage counters on it. So you pair it up with Steelix from Paradox Rift, which is 180 HP stage 1, Earthquake, 130 damage, and it does 20 damage to your bench. Or it does 30 damage to your bench. So you just use it to put damage counter, like it's a super efficient attacker. For 1 energy, you're doing 130, and then you just damage your own bench, and then you just use Dugtrio to sweep. You have like tons of consistency cards, and there's 2 Path to the Peaks just in case.
That's cooking pretty hard. The real question is, where's the Gengars, dude? Like, yeah, I guess you don't need them. The Steelix does everything for you. This thing is kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie. Though. I don't know about the 4 aromas though.
Hey, he wants to be consistent. He has 4 Ultra Balls, 4 Nest Balls, 2 Heavy Balls, 4 aromas. He's getting all those mons.
He's getting it, even if the deck doesn't even want to give it to him or not. He wants them. He wants them in his hands.
Yeah. All right, Carl. So, give us your opinions on both decks, and then make your final decision.
I mean, I'm kind of biased because I always think about Dialga V-Star as like the Gucci version of Yogoloop. I'm like, I gotta shout out my homie Metachamp. He about to rotate, and I'm like, dude, I can't take extra turns anymore next format. I'm like, dude, the closest thing I can have is Dialga V-Star, but the Metallica deck is kind of crazy. I'm seeing there's potentially one Pokemon. I mean, the Onyx basically has a 1 colorless attack that prevents all damage and effects from attacks done to it. So it's like
it stalls the turn if you're going second.
I know people be having those weighted coins, bro, or those weighted dice. I'm just saying. I'm like, there's people be cooking, but I think between the 2 guys, I gotta give it to the Earthworm, bro. Yes! I gotta give it to Dialga V-Star because skipping turns is part of my mojo in Pokemon, and
all Rapid Strike players think the same.
Just the sheer like face of your opponent seeing like what the effect does. Like I remember the first time I went against a new player in Pokemon, picks up my Medicham V card and then
reads the paragraph,
and he's like, oh, and then I just go, okay, draw for my next turn. So I was like, yeah, I gotta give it to the Earthworm one, and plus 330 on a worm, bro, crazy. Crazy.
All right, so that's gonna end off what is he cooking, as well as our Pokemon segment, and now we have a very big league segment to talk about. And we're going to cover everything. I know in previous patch rundowns, we don't go over the whole patch because other YouTubers do it, and we don't. And certainly there's not enough time. But it's a new season and so much, so we're gonna go over really like most of it and really big changes. Good thing there's no champion updates, which is good. Yep. A lot of there are mid-patch champion buffs, which I don't think we should talk about, Jeremy. I think that's just something that you guys can look over. Because to be quite honest, what happens in the new season is we don't even know what champions are good. So I don't know why they did mid-patch updates, But there's a big mid-patch update, hubris update that actually makes sense. So we'll go over some of those. Welcome to season 14. Woo! We made it. Another season, another shit show of jungle changes. Another unbalanced champion that might come out. We got lots to talk about. For Carl's a perfect guest because he's been in our 5 stacks for the past week. Jeremy, Carl, and I, we've been playing with +2 like for the past couple days, which we might play more after this end of this episode, which might be pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and show the patch notes on the podcast here. I know you guys got it pulled up on your computers, so we're gonna skip over the mid-patch updates and talk about quickly. Patch highlights. So here's the image of the patch highlights, guys. They a lot of new things. And I know you guys want that skin review at the end, so stick to that skin review. Let's go ahead and jump into the system updates. So the first one that we need to talk about is the Grub Hub, the Void Grubs, Void Mats, and the Hunger of the Void, the new Baron Pit monster, and quite easy to take. Very easy to take. Which is actually really interesting because they made everything harder to take, right? Don't correct me if I'm wrong. They made dragons harder to take, heralds harder to take. They even made the buffs and the regular camps harder to take. But these are surprisingly easy to take. And I feel like it's not as punishing if you want to like try and flip it because you can like get 1 or 2 and then leave when the jungler comes to clean up, and you still get a couple of buffs. So yeah, Jeremy, give me your opinion on the new Grub Hubs.
I think these are, I'm not sure if they're broken, but they feel broken because like you can always just take like 1. They don't feel risky at all to take compared to like dragon. If you like don't kill the dragon, you basically just wasted your time. If you do these, right, you just get 1 or 2. It's like, well, at least you got like some grubs for the team.
Yeah. Carl?
I guess it feels like I mean it's something new, so something new. It's either gonna get more buffs or gonna get nerfed, but I feel like it's a good balance with how Aiden runs jungle. We basically get like 5 off the bat because I know Aiden's one of the good junglers that I've played with. Because I swear to God, I got junglers that can't even gank or focus on objectives. So thank God Aiden focuses on objectives. But this is a really good buff. I feel like it speeds up early game. I feel like if once there's like a lead in a lane and you have like 5 grubs on your team, I feel like it's so easy to run down the lane just to destroy the lane.
I feel like a really important part is it gives 3 different buffs. You get tower damage, you get the void grub, the void mites, and you get tower defense, right? So it might be broken. I'm not sure. LCS hasn't started, and I haven't seen LEC because it's at a weird time because it's across the country or across the world. So I've heard lots of good things about it. I haven't heard very many bad things. So maybe it's balanced. You know, it is still an objective to fight over. More early things to throw the game over. But as Carl mentioned, I've had to change my path a little bit. I've released a Kindred guide on my YouTube channel, and I talk about how I still stack drakes, which is true. But as Jeremy mentioned, it's super easy for me to like take top crab because it's Mark and then like kill 1 void grub and leave because it's super like it's like 1500 HP, so like smite is already 900, right? So then it's
just another crab.
Yeah, it's just another crab. So it makes things like Lilia. Lilia is super strong against them because when you kill 1, it shares a shield, kind of like in TFT, the old the old Prugs. So Lilia can just take all of them at once. So yeah, it's a fun time. I think it's an interesting part of the game, and I thought I would hate it when they first released it, but it's a fun time.
Yeah, it's cool that there's a counterpart to like early dragons. Before it was like the first thing is Rift Herald, so like there's no objectives to take at all before that point top lane while there's dragon up.
So like
now
games would like be over the first Drake.
Yeah, and I think I saw like a few like I will dominate videos. Like I think G2 had like 5 of them, and then they're playing LeBlanc Cannon. So the AD LeBlanc was just like perma taking towers for free because you can't even catch him, and he's like just destroying your towers.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, revamped Rift Herald. So Rift Herald is now a little bit harder to take. It's pretty much the same thing. You could drop it and it charges, or the biggest change is you could get the hell in there and drive it yourself, just like the Nexus Split sled. It's all great and fun, and it's probably the biggest thing that people have noticed. But as a jungler, I think the biggest thing that I've noticed is there's only one Herald now in the whole game. So fighting over Herald is going to be way more important. I know a lot of people like to trade Herald for second Drake, but now since there's only one, and the grubs and towers is really important, it's worth flipping the game for if you can take the 5v5 and get an advantage off of it. The biggest part is there's only one Herald. I know like the driving is funny and stuff like that, and there's gonna be funny clips, and it's super buggy right now. But one Herald is really important. I don't know. What do you think, Carl?
I feel like one Herald is as you said, it's not like a optional objective now for early game. I think it's like a must take super early, because with the addition of grub hubs, with the addition of the grubbies, and then with the revamped Rift Herald, just having both of them probably erases like all the towers in your enemy's enemy space by like what, the 15-minute mark or like the 20-minute mark. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I think I like that there's only like one Rift Herald, because before you only like, it was super broken if you took it before tower plating's gone down, and then it was a lot less impactful when you took it after. Now we kind of have the grubs. We have the grubs for the like basically replacement of the first Rift Herald.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting one. And driving it is funny. And we'll never. I feel like we'll never get sick of it for a really long time, as long as we're playing together, because it's. I don't know. You just run champions over and hit the tower. It's way too funny.
The moment someone hops into it, the first song that pops into my head is the fucking Tokyo Drift song. It's like just running it down.
All right, let's go to the blue buff, red buff, and Scuttler. So for the first part of the game, the blue buff and red buff is the same thing. Gives it to the jungler, or gives it to the person that kills it. They made it a little harder to take. Well, that's just jungle in general. The big one is when the Baron buff spawns.
Yep.
So in the mid game, when you kill the buff, when you have fully upgraded smite or whatever it is, it still drops the Iron Orb, the old Iron Orb, and a teammate can come pick it up. But when the Baron buff spawns, you finally can stop arguing who gets the buffs. Because when you slay that thing, every teammate that is alive will get the buff that you slain. And that's just really cool. And then for Rift Scuttler, when you destroy the Scuttle Crab, when the Baron buff spawns, it is a Scryer's Bloom in all directions. A Chemtech Scryer's Bloom in all directions. So, Jeremy, what do you think of these new Scuttler and buff changes?
I love the Scuttle Crab one. Like if you kill it, you actually see all your opponents' work. You can just clear vision. You can clear like flank TPs, and it's just like right before the objective starts. I feel like it's just super important to take now. Before you just
to take it.
Before you just running around, people are like, "Oh, it's a 300 gold while we have 5v5 standoffs." Now you like taking it. Actually, it's a huge advantage. And the buffs. I was playing a game yesterday. It's actually kind of interesting because like, if your opponent takes a buff after Baron spawn, you kind of know where one of your opponents are now. So like if you're playing like
everyone's
just getting the buff. So it's like, oh yeah, that guy's a blue buff. We can just like dive this guy. At best it's like a 5v4 for them. Yeah.
It's definitely interesting. Yeah, Carl, what do you think? Because I know you've been playing a lot of support with us, and hey, getting buffs and support is kind of nice.
Hey man, as a healer main support, dude, once I get that blue buff, I'm like, all right, y'all, everyone's getting healing, everyone's getting CC, baby, let's go. But for this buff, I mean, I really like it. Like the Scuttler is really good, especially in late game during taking objectives, like you guys said. Once you kill it, it's basically like a free TF ult at that point. Like once you kill it by the objective, everyone knows what their position is. If everyone, so it's
if you could rush Baron, if you could rush Drake, it's crazy because it's the Chemtech Scryer's Bloom, so it makes all the wards 1 HP as well. Which is I think super insane.
Yeah, I think I feel like they're gonna nerf that. I don't think they're gonna keep the 1 HP because it's just broken. I mean, I feel like it's broken. I don't know, but I feel like it's really important to take it right before you guys
I think what this does is a lot of people in lower elos don't realize that getting to Drake with like 10 seconds before it spawns is not good enough. You have to now get to Drake like a minute before it spawns, which is what everyone, higher healers usually do. But a lot of lower players don't understand that. Now with the crab actually being there, actually being really important, fighting for the crab might be an issue. Like that might be a situation that we might get, which is really funny. But yeah, let's move on to Baron Nashor, a redesign which I think looks cool. Other people think it looks ugly. It has to grow on us. But they made it really hard to take. Like 20-minute Baron is actually insanely hard now. We can't rush that thing anymore. Like it's hard to flip it. Yeah, no more flipping Barons. Thank goodness. I hope there's no more flipping Barons. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Gives the same buffs. Just harder to kill, and it's harder to kill not only because of HP and resistance, but also because it has a new attack pattern. So now we have to learn the attack patterns again. There's one that pulls you, knocks you up, spits at you. It does everything.
Yeah. I think there's this new attacks just to relearn like how to like take Baron. Sometimes like before it was like mainly just the one that knocks up that's really important, but now there's like more like a different attack pattern. So you just like relearning how like which attacks you can like take and which ones you must avoid.
Yep, and there's also 3 different types of Barons. If you guys didn't know, you could tell based on the forehead, which all has so just different attack patterns. You gotta learn it. I'm glad they made Baron more unique now, or just having unique Barons, because dude, Baron's been so boring for so long. But like, when they changed Elder Drake to have the execute thing, people are freaking out, and then they're like, "Yeah, Baron buff is the same." So yeah, Carl, what do you think of new Baron?
I like new Baron. It gives more dimension to like the Baron play. At least it's like it doesn't only change like how Baron attacks, but it actually changes the shape of the pit. So it's like if you have like the hunting Baron, which not hunting Baron, but territorial Baron, which turns it into like one random wall in the middle. It actually does like a Darius E pull, which is crazy. And I was like, you're just doing Baron, and then you're just in a perfect spot for your enemies to basically go wombo combo your ass easier in the pit,
dude,
which is crazy.
Dude, all-seeing Baron pit is wild. That one is the most wild one, dude.
Yeah, oh man, I really like Baron. Baron is crazy this patch. I actually like it. It's super nice.
Like, dude, Jeremy, correct me if I'm wrong, but the all-seeing Baron pit, that bush is a death trap now. Don't go in that damn bush. We are coming from it every time. Do not go in the red buff bush. You are losing every time.
Yeah. That one's pretty insane. I feel like that one, the all-seeing pit, like helps the team that's not on Baron more than the team that's like on Baron.
Yeah.
Because like you just have so many more ways to get into pit. And, like there's the top tri-bush entrance, which is like you can just walk in there. You're right next to your opponents when you walk into that bush.
Yeah.
And then
it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, so a big one is terrain changes. I reacted to this on stream, and I think the big terrain changes, the map gets every year they do a terrain change, it gets more asymmetrical. Like it's no longer like top lane is now they made top lane more of an island. Let's just start with that. Like I remember Jeremy was playing top lane, and he's like, "Oh, let me go ward try," and walked and missed 2 minions for it. And I was dying. I was like, "You ain't doing that, dude." This obsidian chunk, dude, this purple chunk right here, top lane is an island, bro. They made it more of an island.
Yeah, they made the map a lot more asymmetrical, which makes sense instead of just having like, when you're like red side, your top laner is like more vulnerable to ganks. Now it's like both sides are like, even though it's asymmetrical, it's like the lane priority is like more symmetrical, I guess.
Yeah, true.
Where like both top laners are impossible to gank, not just like the blue side top laner.
Yeah. Yep. Carl, what do you? I know you haven't played topside too much, but what do you think about this one? This change?
Hey man, that's at least I don't have to hide anymore tower hugging if the lane's getting shoved so far. I'm like, thank God I have like a big ass obsidian shield just sitting there. I'll take the shield. I'm like, screw that.
They can't come from try behind you.
No, I'm good. I'm like, I don't have to worry about that tri-bush no more. If they want to gank me, they have to probably tank like 2 tower hits. Screw it. And then I think I mean, I don't really play top that much, but then in the moments that I do have to play top, I'm thankful for that big ass obsidian rock.
Because bot lane ain't thankful for their changes. All right.
All right. Oh man.
All right. Let's go to mid lane. Mid lane is now the most symmetrical it's ever been in its life.
Yeah, no, it's basically the same.
Yeah, they put the pushes back, so they gave you have more reaction time if a jungler pops out of the river bushes. The biggest one is the weird cutouts next to towers. I did walk around. You cannot dodge a tower shot there, but you can be fast enough to only take one. So it is a gankable angle. Just you'll take a tower shot, and they can see you quite easily with the tower range vision. So yeah, mid lane is going to be the same. I think from what I've been playing, midfield is the same. Maybe it's because Kindred has range. I don't know if it's any different in terms of like Rek'Sai. Can Rek'Sai be a little different? I don't know. Yeah, Carl, what do you think of mid lane?
I mean, mid lane's practically the same. I mean, I mean, it feels like it's more open with the more paths that you could gank from, but I don't think it really, because as you said, I think the tower still hits you, so it doesn't really matter which angle you try to gank for mid lane. It's basically this. I mean, it's asymmetrical, which is great, but at the same time, not really that much changes. So
I do have to say, Jeremy, before we get to thoughts, mid laners will stop bot warding Pixel because there's no more Pixel in River. Stop bot warding Pixel. Go and ward the Raptor camp, like right here or here. Like it's just 2 extra steps. There's no more Pixel for them to ward, so thank God they're not bot warding Pixel anymore. Mid laners can finally learn how to ward because I swear to God, every mid laner that dies to a gank, it's super easy to dodge ganks in mid because the lane is so small. Like thank God, dude.
man.
Yeah, it's like
common sense out the window. We're like, whoop.
Yeah, no pixel push. I mean, that's just a bait for mid laners. Like you just always if you ward raptor, you just get so much more vision. You can like if you see your enemy jungler, you can actually distract them harder.
Yeah.
And
you don't have to ward raptors. You can stand in the river bush and just ward over the wall. That's still a better ward than Pixel.
Just ward. But then like I'm not sure how I feel about the was it the new terrain or the new holes you can walk through to get like next to the tower, because I feel like those are not gankable angles until like later on, where you can actually like where the 2 tower shots just don't do enough. But, like pre-6, like if you take 2 tower shots, you're just dead. Like that gank, you're basically not even ganking. You're just like feeding your opponent like 300 gold.
I feel like they just wanted to do something more than just remove pixels and push the pushes back. It does make the rotation safer for your own jungler if they like gank and then rotate to like they want to rotate to river. It is safer than having those like 2 identical walls of like the standard pathing from raptors and stuff like that. But anyways, mid lane is it feels the same. The big one is bot. All right, I explained this on stream. If you're on red side, you're fucked. Like, dude, like.
It's cool, man.
Like the issue with red side is if you're on red side and you ward pixel, it's duped because the jungler can wrap all the way around into try. So if they ward try and pixel, it's so chalked. But what I like about it is red side's no longer safe, because what I found about red side in the previous seasons is it felt safer to play bot lane red side, because you're either getting ganked from the river bush or you're getting lane ganked, right? Now that there's an option to gank from behind and go through turret, red side finally has more gankable angles, because I'm not gonna lie, people say blue side is better, but red side felt better because bot lane determines high level games, and it was easier to play safer on red side than blue side.
Yeah, I think before people said blue side was better, but I'm not sure if it was actually better. But I think this actually hurts. This now makes bot lane like just perma. You can just perma fight these bot lanes now.
Yeah. We are in a bot lane perma fight meta because top is a damn island.
Top's not even fightable. You can't even find jump fights here.
Pitch a tent, y'all. We going bot lane camping, baby.
So 6 terrain changes. I don't think there's really much to say. If you're wondering, you do not take a tower shot walking through that bot gank. It is insane. Like red side is finally gankable on bot. It's crazy. All right, we're going through jungle changes. Like I mentioned, there's this thick ass wall that you can walk around and not even be in river and gank bot, which is crazy, by the way. To imagine that is so crazy, because this is not on the top side. This is not on the top side. So, this big ass wall is just insane to me. I'm surprised they added it still.
Yeah, it makes dragon fights a lot more awkward now. I'm just so used to fighting like dragon fights. I'm just so used to the old walls that like
There's the two
it
different
changes how
chokes.
the yeah, the two different chokes now. Like dragon fights feel so weird because now that the also open like the tri bush and walking into river, you can actually get pincered a lot harder from there now. But like
Yeah. I
yeah,
can
fights are
say
just weird
though,
with the wall.
if blue buff is your last camp in your rotation, it's now easier to decide. It's not if you are still deciding if you want to gank bot or mid. It is now easier to rotate the bot or
Oh
mid.
yeah,
Because in the other map you'd have to like go all the way around like behind the wolf camp to go mid. Now you can just
yeah.
easily go between bot or mid, which is good. I like that because they did make jungle camps a little harder to take, so it was a little bit longer. So having this faster rotation is a lot better.
It's just something new to you get used to. It's been like rough for me. I've been like this wall's been like messing me up in team fights a lot. It's like I'm just walking the
Yeah,
wrong way
autopacking
because
is so
I'm
done, bro.
yeah. I've just been walking the wrong way. This yeah. I don't need to get used to this wall, but I'm not sure how I feel about the big jungle wall yet.
All right, Carl, what do you think about this blue side jungle wall or this bottom side jungle wall?
I mean, I feel like that's the fucking Berlin Wall that fucking just blocks everything. I mean, I feel like more choke points, and then at the same time, it makes it harder for. I mean, it makes dragon fights easier. That's for sure. But
Oh! Speaking of which, now we got bot support players warding Pixel.
oh, yeah.
we went
I
from
do
bot.
that.
We went from bot
Hey, yo.
elitists to warding Pixel. Now we got bot support players warding Pixel.
Hey, man, I get you. I mean, I got two things to hoard now out there, so I'm like, fuck. I mean, being defensive now at bot side, Jesus Christ, and you
Yeah.
gotta spend so much fucking ward, and then you just fucking fucking scan that shit away. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn it.
Oh, let's move on to Jeremy's favorite change. The stacks you get to pick up from Infernal Drake.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is super fun.
with the
You just walk
new
around
terrain changes, Infernal Soul can no longer destroy anything else because they don't want to do any more work to the map. So
Yep.
now instead we have these little bard, boof bard beeps to pick up when the Infernal comes. Jeremy, why don't you go ahead and talk about it?
These are just it's like bar chimes. They basically feel like bar chimes. So you pick them up, you get some movement speed, and you get bonus stats. You get haste, and I think you get more stuff. But I just remember, I know you get haste.
Just haste.
It's just haste.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's just haste and movement speed. Yeah,
and
I
then when
remember.
you die, Sonic rings.
Yeah, yeah, I'll pop out. Yeah, I was watching one pro game. They were like, an LEC game where someone was getting chased, and then the Kennen just walked into one of these, and he just like there's just a line of three of them, so you just get infinite movement speed to like outrun the chase.
Yeah, it's a little stupid, but it's funny, especially when they died like the Sonic rings. It's like Sonic
Yeah, the
rings.
Sonic.
Yeah, Carl, what do you like? You like Infernal changes?
Hey man, as a Brad player, I feel like this is like a second challenge for me during the matches, bro. With the chimes and this, I'm like, damn, I'm going Sonic speed. But, I mean, it's interesting, but I feel like if this is like another thing that to look out for, I don't think they're gonna really change this. I think this is fine. I feel like 0.3 ability haste don't really matters that much, but I think later games, the movement speed, like what Jeremy said for the for that pro game, just outpacing the chase just because a guy dies with like 10 cinders on him. I'm like, okay, dude. It's interesting, but I mean, it's cool.
For sure. All right, we're gonna skip over the champion changes because we don't really care.
There's like two anyway.
Yeah, jungle damage adjustments. Big one. I've mentioned this many times. Champion bonus damage to non-equipped monsters going down to 25%, and pet damage per second overall went down, I believe. Yeah. No, went up a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Thank God we don't. Karthus, I hate you, so thank you. Yeah. I mean, anything else? I know you guys don't play jungle. Jeremy plays it when he gets filled to it. So I mean, you guys have anything to say?
Not really.
The only jungle champion I play is Ivern, so I'm good.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yeah,
he's my
yeah,
perma man, so you ain't playing Ivern anytime soon. All right, items. Here we go. Mythics are gone. Woo! Let's go. With Mythics gone, broken builds will be missed, but new broken builds will be found. Feels good. We can build IE with some random things. We can build whatever the hell we want. So yeah. Let's just get our first initial thoughts on no mythic items. Carlos, start with you.
Mythic items, thank God they're gone. I feel like I don't know. I'm trying to give my ADCs bot lane a little bit of loving. Once mythic items are introduced, I feel like they were like bottled by their potential, and they just get popped during team fights just because they don't do enough damage, because you can't have IE and then at the same time Kraken Slayer, which would have swung the top lane matchups in case if the top lane's going crazy and you can't kill them in
Back when
team
Kraken
fights.
was a mythic.
Yeah, so it's like, thank God it's gone now. I feel like for this one it really opens like the build paths, much better
support
build
too,
paths
like
now.
being able to build Moonstone and Shurelias. Like that's crazy. That's
good.
what like Jen is just. Oh, I don't even want to talk about it. Jeremy,
I just like that
think?
it opens a lot more items. It opens a lot more items for people to build. When you build before some champs were just locked into specific mythics, so then the other items are not buildable at all. But now you can just like build any items to combination you want, and it's actually so much nicer when like there's because mythic items, a lot of them were just overtuned. Like Divine Thunder, like
and a lot
just
of them were
100
just
zeros to
terrible.
match
And a
up.
lot of them were just terrible.
Gale Force?
This first item
like
I want to
Gale
talk
Force
about
is
in particular because I think this item has seen the most play it has been for the past 3 years.
Yeah.
The past 2 weeks. Yeah. Let's talk about this Riftmaker item because oh my god, this item is insanely good right now. Swade is a different like gross champion that like I don't want to talk about either, kind of like Janna. But this item, Jeremy, I know you were a fan of this item because you're a Gwen player. But now it's not. You're not bound to it, which is great because an issue with it was. Dude, like Leandros is just 10 times better as a bruiser item for APs. But now Riftmaker, you can build it along with Leandros or along with other things. So yeah, Jeremy, give me your thoughts on Riftmaker. Finally, no mythic.
I'm fine. I like that there's no more mythic because like, okay, it's maybe just Gwen, but like you're just locked onto buying Riftmaker air game, and the item sucks until you complete the Riftmaker. Now that I think it does Haunting Guys, which is just a lot better like component than the Leeching Leer, which was just like negative gold when you buy it. So
it felt like negative gold. It felt like you were losing gold.
I think you were actually stronger to buy a Dorn's Blame than upgrading your components when you buy that item.
Yeah, Carl. I don't know. We can skip this for you if you want.
Oh, for Rift. I mean, yeah. It's Riftmaker. I've never fucking used this item because I'm a top lane Shen main, so I don't really build this. But hey, props to Jeremy for being proud to not be forced to just go to Riftmaker and then at the end of the day just be fucking haunted by the items that he had to.
Dude, it was what was the stick you bought? What was the commodity you bought that you mentioned? It was that thing, the Leeching Leer. That thing was awful. Yeah. No one wanted to buy that. That thing was terrible. Okay, so yeah, the item that's breaking the game currently, Malignant. This thing is stupid, really stupid. Giving mages 20 ability haste and then 20 more ability haste for their ultimate. It's a little disgusting. Plus, you're also doing extra damage and burning them. Yeah, this item is gross, and guess what? It's only 2,800 gold. Yeah, Jared, let me hear your thoughts on Malignants really quick.
Oh, this item's broken. I played like a Karthus jungle game yesterday. I just like basically zero cooldown, and then like this item's just insane. I think a lot of these AP items probably needs to get nerfed in the future patch because half of these are like really broken.
Carl,
I mean, having Malignants as a Zyra support is fucking disgusting. Once you ult people and then half of them are already burning, and then you also get what
20% haste,
reducing their magic resist for
the entire. Yeah.
I was like, crazy.
It should not be reducing MR. It should not be. They should have to remove that. This item be better, or make it 3K, or this is a little gross.
It's fucking disgusting. Like I ult a Zyra and then my mid laner just comes into lane, just fucking pops them with like not even their ultimate, just their basic fucking skills at like not even level 6, probably like right before they hit 6 just to hit that power spike. Crazy amount of fucking damage. If my mid laner's behind, he visits bot lane when I have this item, easy. He's gonna be back in the game just like that. Easy, bro.
Yeah. Next we got Luden's Companion. So what have we gone through, Jeremy? We got through Luden's Echo, Luden's Tempest. Now we're on Luden's Companion. I think it's pretty much it works around the same thing where you get like that small pop burst. They did change a little bit. We're not gonna go into it. I think the biggest thing that builds out an alternator instead of blasting one is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So stronger early game, much stronger early game. But in the end, it's Luden's.
Yeah.
Also, why is this thing 3K gold? They're not 2,800 like Malignants. Can we like change that, please? Can we make Malignants 3K? Like, come on, man. Like, right. Anyways,
it's
shall we
basically
move
the
on?
same item. Yeah, it's the same item.
Storm Surge. I don't know how to feel about this item because I don't know. It feels so baity, but at the same time, it's strong on paper. I haven't played enough AP champions to.
I think. Yeah, I'm not sure.
What have you played?
Depends where you played it. It depends when you played it because I know this guy's hot nerf, and then I think this hot nerf right now, like at least he's playing like the initial patch or like before this hot nerf, and like Akali's like giga broken.
Because she doesn't need to rush a mana item, so rushing this was insane.
Yeah.
But it gives a lot of stats: 100 AP, 10 magic pen, and 5% movement speed. And it's why is Luna's 3K? What I don't know. Like Storm Surge 2,900 gold. You get the passive with the burst option. I think this item is like good. Just like I feel like it falls off really easily. And it's only 10. It's flat magic pen. It's not even percentage, so it's a little bit better early game, a lot worse late game. It feels like one of those items where it's baity, but at the same time, I can see why people build it.
Yeah, it's just this change. This DLC fixing numbers sometimes. Like if when numbers too high, this item's get broken. If it's like not high enough, no one's gonna build it, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey man, I thought Pokemon math was bad. League math is worse, bro. Like, swear to God. I mean, they try to make it up with the 10 magic pen, but yeah, I'm going with Aiden with this one. Like, way late game. I think this is just sitting there in your inventory.
Yep. An insane buff for Rockabelt. Jeremy, I know you enjoyed it on Nico. I enjoyed it on Echo Jungle. It's only 2,500, which is crazy because and no mythic. It's not a mythic, right? No mythic, so you can build this with the other items that we've mentioned. It's only 2,500. So what did they remove about it? They removed the pen, right? The pen is what they removed, which is worth it because it's a rushable item and you don't need pen that early.
Yeah, I think it's also a lot healthier too because this item's so much cheaper. Sometimes you can just first back, like you just back. You if you're playing Milan, you just force a back, and then your opponent has to back too, and then you have a full build like pro belt where opponents sitting on like lost chapters and components.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Yeah. And the best thing playing with this on Nico is you can actually buy a lost chapter now. You're just not locked behind like having no mana item the entire game.
Yeah. Thank gosh. Yep. All right. Cosmic Drive. I think it's the same item. The biggest thing is you don't need to do the combo for the move spin. You just get it by hitting an ability. Big one. Same thing. Oh, the health is back as well. Health is back. That's important. I think this item last season when they removed the health, it was a kind of a snowball harder item. You didn't really build it if you were ahead, or you didn't really build it if you're behind, or if you're even. You built it if you were ahead. But now it's a decent Bruiser AP item. The ability haste is the health is back is what is the important part, I think.
Yeah, it just feels kind of awkward to build sometimes because it's like the stats are not for like a first mage, but it's also like for a bruisery mage, but those also got like huge buffs. Like you have Leandri's back, you get like you can build the Riftmaker, and then you have all the other stuff too.
Anything you want to say, Carl? Should we move on?
Oh no, I'm good with Cosmic Drive. I mean, it's
Jeremy, your favorite component, Guys, is back. Pretty much the same thing. Alternator is still in the game. It's back at 1,100. It was 1050 before. I really liked a big thing that Quantum mentioned in this recent video. They removed all the weird pricings. Everything is even zeros at the end. Thank goodness, bro. Who decided Tome being 435? Like this is super crazy. Leandris is back to the non-mana form, which is fine.
Yep.
Horizon Focus is still here. Big one, stopwatch. No stopwatch. We forgot to mention that. That should have been the first thing we mentioned. We no longer have stopwatch. If you want a stasis item, you have to build the Seekers or the Zanyas. The Seekers has the passive of stopwatch and broken stopwatch. You can only use it once.
Yep.
And Zanyas has the stasis. And Zanyas is the only thing that has the stasis. You can no longer buy stopwatch. Seekers is 1,600 gold, not a rushable. Not rushable, thank goodness, because it would be broken if it was. Zed players would be crying.
Yep.
1,600 gold and has stasis. Let's talk about this. This was the big one.
Yeah, I think this is good to lock it onto Seekers because the stopwatch? Yeah, stopwatch was giga broken for like the price, especially on like other classes, and now you're locking onto Seekers. Before Seekers was just super non-gold efficient, so at least there's like a reason to buy Seekers. Again, before you just want to sit on like stopwatch and then the components, use your stopwatch and upgrade to Zanyas. Yeah.
Carl, what do you think about the no stopwatch Seekers adjustment? Good for the game or bad for the game?
Way better for the game. I feel like something as strong as stasis needs to be like you need to build into it somehow. You just don't get it from a keystone or something like that.
Oh my god! Wait. Which year was it in Pro where the meme was like, "Oh, it's 8 minutes into the game. Everyone get ready to blind your eye and cover your eyes. The stopwatch is coming."
Everyone's gold, baby.
Yeah, everyone's gold. What year was that? Was that 2019, 2018?
Right once they put Mythics in, or once they the item in,
Yeah, so
because everyone bought secondary inspiration, they're like, okay, let's wait.
No, fuck no. Yeah, no. So you gotta spend 1,600 gold for that, earn that shit, because I know that 2.5 seconds is a lot in League. So
yeah. All right, Crypto Bloom, new item, a new pen item. So 60 AP, 10 haste, and 30% magic pen, which is a crazy amount for. By the way, this is like the scene I don't have this much pen that's not Void Staff is crazy. Passive, whenever you get a takedown enemy champion with 30 seconds damage, them create a healing nova on the location that heals allies. So yeah, I've actually never seen this item built yet. And I can see the reason why, because this item lacks identity, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, are you building for the pen? Like, is the healing actually important? Like, I wouldn't know which character you would put this on. You're not going to put it on an enchanter because they don't do damage. The pen is going to be useless. And what would you put this on? Like AP Karma mid? That like you're pocketing a kindred with? Like I don't know. It lacks an item identity, and it's just not worth building.
Yeah, it's comparing to Void Staff. I think it's 20 less AP, but you get haste and you lose Magic Pen. I don't know. It just like you said, it just lacks identity. Do you want to be a support item or do you want to be like a carry item where the pen matters?
Yeah, Carl, you play Zyra support and other things. Would you even consider building this on like Zyra support? Maybe, right?
I mean, yeah, I definitely can see it as. I feel like because some of the supports don't even have identities for themselves, so I feel like that's how this fits into it. Like Zyra is like a support, but it could also like do like 3,000 types of damage once she's like super or the lane super fed. So I feel like that's.
But then like you could be building like Rylines, which is way better than support.
that is pretty true. But I think Riot's also baiting us to see just because of the healing aspect. That's probably why it's such a it should be like a support item or something like that. But yeah, you hit it on the nail. You hit it on the head pretty good, Aiden, where it doesn't really have an identity for itself. So yeah. So I don't know if this is a support or a mid item or whatever it is.
Hey, Jeremy, your TFT addiction is still here. We got JG in the goddamn game. We got Shadow playing. They raised it 3,200 gold. Quite expensive, but we get 120 ability power. It was 100 before, right? We get 120 ability power. We still got the flat pen. But we got the passive, baby. Magic damage and true damage critically... Dude, the true damage is what gets me. Magic damage and true damage critically strikes enemies below 35% and dealing 20% increased damage. Like, you are hitting with this thing. This thing is... We're losing the health, okay? So thank God we're not getting, like, AP Bruisers rushing it, because that would be kind of insane. But, dude, you are, like... this thing is hitting like a truck.
It's fucking the band. This is literally the band hammer in fucking League. Like, bam, and then
execute.
Just dead.
Jeremy, what do you think?
Yeah, it's just like you're just executing your opponent's. This is pretty sick. I'm not sure if it's like how
It's
good this
expensive.
is.
It's expensive.
Yeah, I like how know how good this is because like a lot of times like a lot of the AP champs want like they want the mana regen item, and then I guess this is like second, and then you go Death
Yeah.
Void or something.
I
But
think,
then like sometimes
yeah.
you just need like Onyas and stuff, so then you just have to skip this item.
What I've seen a champion that really uses as well is literally Katarina perma farming until 3200, rushes this item, and then goes and roams. It's so gross.
Yeah,
All right. Okay, big one. Amptone, 435, 400, straight buff. Thank goodness.
yep.
Freak, I love you. And Blasting One is getting 5 AP, so nice buff. And Rod is getting another 10 AP. Again, all this stuff needs to get nerfed. Okay. Like this is mage is a little strong. All right. Big one. Zanya is expensive as hell now, 3250.
Thank God.
And the I think okay, it's not expensive as hell. It's still pretty expensive. I think the biggest the build is expensive. The like before it was Seekers and Phoenix Codex, which is like was super cheap. It's stopwatch. Now it's 1250 for Rod and 1600 for Seekers. So like now it's actually like hard to build. They gave it 40 AP, they gave it 5 armor and no more haste. So it's no longer a rushable item, second rushable item, Jeremy. Thank God. Carl, what do you think about Zanya's now?
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, at least I don't have to worry about. I mean, ability power is super high up there, but yeah, mages are so powerful in this game. So, I mean, as a bot lane main, I'm still gonna not. I'm still gonna have the gray screen of death every time. So I think Zonia's Hourglass is pretty good. I'm fucking rushing it every time if I'm playing fucking mages. 'Cause fuck it, I don't care. 120 ability power and armor. Fuck it, I'll take it. And stasis. Fuck yeah, I'll take it.
Jeremy?
I like the well, I guess it's overbuffed because every other item gets like tons of AP also now. But I like that they buffed these Zonias because sometimes when you bought Zonias, you just felt lacking between your second and third item since you just didn't do like Zonias just had like negative AP compared to like buying like a Death Cap or a Shadow Flame.
Yeah.
So now that it has like yeah.
They actually made it like an AP item. Like you can build it and you're not losing
Yeah.
damage. The big part is there's no more stopwatch. That's it. Like
Yeah.
it's still a strong item. It's still you still build it for its uses as a mage. Just you're not getting tanks biting Zanyas, right? It's like
Yeah.
all right, Banshees. I really don't like this change. They kind of did it. They gave it a Zanya's treatment.
Reverse
The
Zonias.
best
Yeah.
part is we can now sit on Verdant for the
Yep.
shield,
That's
the
cool.
Edge of Night shield, which is crazy. Ethan, my friend Nash, Ethan, just we found this out yesterday. We didn't even realize because who the hell bans Banshee anymore? But now we can sit on Verdant. This year's Verdant's 1800 gold. So yeah, I don't know.
I like that it's like sort of counterpart where the Verdant is similar to the Seekers, but
It's worse.
I don't know. I think Verdant it's like as long as status states yeah, Zonius is a lot better than Banshees, so I don't know.
Yeah, so I'd rather just take Zonias over Banshees, bro. I'm good.
Yeah.
Archangels is pretty much the same. A couple of stat boosts. You still get the shield, right? Yeah.
Yep.
They just buffed it overall.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why
Yeah.
they do this. Why? Like why? Like it's 2000. They unchanged it. Like the price, but they buffed everything about it. Like I don't know, man. Like why?
Yeah, they give it more AP, right? That's basically
Yeah.
Woo! All right, let's continue. Cap, more gold or more AP?
Yep.
20 more AP.
20
I
more
think the
AP, but you lose
multiplier
5% multiplier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on. Voice off. Made it more expensive. Gave it more AP. Just still build it if you want to shred someone. Roa is another one. It's not a mythic, of course. So big good. Rushable 2600. Yeah, I think it's still good to build. The fact that it's rushable 2600 is pretty strong.
Yeah.
And what a cool people with what Rise players are doing is taking Row plus the new potion, which we'll get into later with the runes. And they're hitting their wave clears. They're hitting their buffs, their power spikes faster. Yeah, let's keep going. Lichbane, Nashor's Tooth, Morello. Oh, Morello's a big one. Gain haste, remove the pendant HP. This item sucks. Don't build it, guys. Don't
this
build
item
it.
sucks again.
Yeah, Lichbane sucks.
Okay, it is only 2,200. Ask your support to buy Oblivion. Don't build this thing.
Yeah, no.
Anything else about Morello? Dude.
Nope, sucks.
Morella's so bad. Morella's bad again. Just oh my god. Yeah, just don't ever. It's like the Hextreaker thing, right? You just buy if you need it, you just buy a deep component. You don't buy the full upgrade item because you're just wasting gold.
Yeah, don't build it.
Yep.
Don't build it. Yeah. All right, that's enough for rage items. Woo! We're done. We don't have to look at cancer anymore. Let's move on. Hullbreaker is no longer toxic. Thank God. You're not getting stats for being alone. The minions get buffed not being alone. Hullbreaker is not toxic anymore. It costs the same. And yeah, you still get 65 80, 350 health, and every 5th attack against champion of every monsters, you do more bonus damage, and siege and minions get bonus health. It's not toxic.
Yeah, it's not toxic. That's thank God.
Not toxic.
Bork is the same, right? So we still got Bork.
Yeah.
Phage is no longer the. Thank God they removed the sustaining Phage because that thing was broken. Okay.
Yeah.
We're back to old Phage. We're back to old
Phage.
Yeah. So Eclipse is the same thing. They're just considering the bruiser item now. Oh wait, no. They removed the lethality and they gave it more shield, right?
Yeah, it's basically a bruiser item now instead of an assassin item, which I guess makes sense then.
This item's not being built. This item sucks. Don't build this item. It's not worth it. It's not worth the 2,800.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
If you're a bruiser, you want HP, right? It has no HP. It's just it's damage stat profile, but like I don't know, no reason to build it right now.
All right, Shojin, one of the best items. They've changed it once again. We went from the alting lower CDs, that one, and then we went to based on how low health you are, the faster you go, and now we're here. So 55 80, 300 health, 20 ability haste. It's actually 35% ability haste, just your ultimate doesn't get it. And then spell hits grant stacks, and your spells deal 3% increased damage for each stack, which means this item is giving you 12% more ability damage. This item is crazy. Rushable on a lot of bruisers that depend on abilities. Obviously, you don't rush on something like Aurelia or Camille, but something on like Renekton, Lee Sin, Jarvan. Like, this item is crazy good.
Yeah, this item's pretty broken.
Fucking insane. Just the more you hit, the more it fucking hurts as a fucking bruiser, which is crazy. So.
Yeah. All right. Old T-Man is back. If you're going to mention that too. Woo! Auto resets and stuff. Ravenous is back to its old self. Thank goodness, because the old Ravenous that we had was toxic. I really didn't like it. It made it so it wasn't skilled at all. But we got old T-Man back now. So woo! Yeah, Jeremy, give us your thoughts on old Ravenous and old Titanic being back.
Yeah, so I think the first thing is like Tiamat no longer procs on ability, just on auto attacks, and they gave it the active back. So I think it's like a lot worse on like some champs, like
Riven,
before like some
Riven.
Zeds, yeah, like Riven, like the caster like Zeds used to build it just for wave clear, but then like now that it only works in auto, it's a lot worse.
And it's lifesteal now, not Omnivamp.
Yeah. They also lock these. They aren't locked to melee champs like it was before the reworks. So you can like just buy like the Titanic on Jhin. You just get like free auto attack reset.
Yeah,
and
but that's a bug because it only works on Titanic. It doesn't work on Hydra.
Oh no, because Titanic does give it's an auto reset, so it gives
Titanic
like a lot of free.
Okay.
Yeah, Titanic's auto reset. Well, Ravenous and like the other whoever the other Hydra is, just yeah. So I think this Titanic Hydra is kind of broken though, because like you just have tanks just auto Titanic auto you, and then you're just like losing like half your health.
Yeah, I know, Carl. You're a Shed player. The old Titanic is back, baby.
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking proud of it. Thank God it's back. I mean, I'll fucking take it. Yeah, Shen players rejoice. Lord God Almighty, thank you. I'll take the fucking old fucking enchantment back.
Yep. Let's talk about a big one. No more Spike Whip. So we got Stridebreaker back, and The active is still the Shockwave, same thing except no damage and bigger bonus move speed and slow. You get a move speed when you use it for champion hit, and you still get the slow. It's bigger slow, but from 20% to 30%. So yeah, Strikebreaker is still a decent item. I like it. I like what they did with it, and no more Spike Whip, which is sad for a lot of junglers like Lee Sin and stuff. But hey, at least we still get Strikebreaker.
Yeah, I guess most of these spike whips are just replaced by the Tiamat. If you just want the active, you just have Tiamat now.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about my favorite item of the whole patch: Experimental Hexplate. Now, this item, I'm not gonna say it needs a nerf because I don't want it nerfed, but I'm a happy camper as a Bruiser Kindred player and just a Bruiser player in general. It's 3k, which is good. It's a relatively medium range. The thing about it is you're getting 55 80, 20% hack speed, and 300 health. And the biggest thing is 30 ultimate haste. Like, that is crazy. 30 ultimate haste. And then your passive, after casting your ultimate, you get 35% attack speed and 50% bonus move speed for 7 seconds, which just seems insane. Like, it's good on bruisers. It's good on AD carries. It's good on tanks. Like, this thing is overtuned, but don't nerf it because I like it too much.
Yeah, it was
But-
made for Kindred mains. Like you did.
yeah. Jeremy, give us your opinion on Hexplate, man.
The stat profile of this is good. The passive will give you 30 ultimate haste is broken, and then what was it? And then the other passive is actually just good too. So like I think this item has like everything about it is good. It's like slightly like overtuned. Like even though it just doesn't show like the dirty haste, like your old haste is usually the most important one. So
Yeah.
it basically is also dirty haste, which is just like even though like if you look up like how valuable, like if you just look up gold efficiency, it won't show it. Like it's good. It's like a lot better than it looks on the stats.
Yeah. Carl, Hexplate. Let's give quick thoughts. We're coming up on time.
No, dude, it's fucking crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy.
All right.
Yep.
Sundered Sky. Oh man, this one's insane too. It's like old Stormrazor but for Bruiser. Yeah, Jeremy, you got thoughts on this one?
It's basically what the bruisers that bought Divine Sunder rush now, I guess. Like it's their new Divine Sunder, but then like it's also built on like the other champions that that lost their Gore Drinker, I guess. Like people who lost Gore Drinker, some of them are building this too. So
yeah, like Jarvan and Lee Sin and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, what's then? I'll talk about this one. So they're removing the AD, which seems wild, but we're getting tenacity and the passive damage is a little bit more. And more a attack speed, and they made it $400 less, which is a good third to fourth item to build. So that's my thoughts on what's that. Jeremy, I know you hate new Triforce, so I'm gonna let you talk about this one.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense why they nerfed it. They removed like in the longer mythics are just slightly better items than legendaries, so it makes sense why they nerfed it. But it just feels like it feels so rough that the best Sheen item in the game is a support item.
Or IBG.
Yeah.
Cleaver is pretty much the same. Styrax, they instead of giving the tenacity when you get the shield, now you just have the tenacity. So overall stronger. Tickets for items. Carl, you have probably built this more than me and Jeremy combined. So I'll let you take the wheel on this whole section. So go ahead and host us.
All right. First up, let's go with Hollow Radiance. Basically, Sunfire for supports right there. Or this is basically a tank. Or tank item. So basically,
this thing is broken, by the way.
Yeah, this thing. When you're talking about melting people on top lane, this is basically melting everyone. It's crazy. 2,800 gold for something like this. Crazy. I mean, as a Shen player, I'll take it. So, what else? Unending Despair. That's part. Unending Despair. What is this? Swelling Combat. Was Magic Nearby Champions 6.
This is the other. Healing. This is the other side. This is the armor version.
Jesus Christ, these things are actually broken. Retake the wheel on this one, bro, because most of the fucking tank items I probably don't know, but more of the support items I probably know.
Yeah. Okay, Jeremy. Heartsteel. I think this item's a bait. This item's horrible, dude.
Yeah.
You're not. Yeah, this thing sucks. Kadik Rookern, I've actually never seen anyone build this yet because it is the big MR take item, but like everyone's just building what is it? Hollow Radiance anyways. So you're barely seeing this item built. After not taking damage from champions for 12 seconds, get a magic skill for 20% of your maximum health. But like, why do you need this passive when you're getting 80 magic resistance anyways? It's like it's not worth the gold for this item. You might as well rush like another magic resist item, or whatever. Or like, to be honest, Merc Treads plus Hollow Radiance is enough.
Yeah, I mean, every time I'm just been playing like normals, where like no one's playing tanks because people just want to play their damage dealers, and half of these items I'm just reading for the first time.
Yeah. Carl, I know you love this item. Trailblazer.
Okay,
give me this one.
Okay, Trailblazer is the fun item. I always build this.
Formerly known as Go Fast with Fred.
Go Fast with Fred. It's funny. I mean, I like to build this item because the moment, I mean, you play Janna with this, it's crazy. Janna with this and Shirelias, bro.
Yeah.
Passive Shirelias and this. You can chase down anyone. You can chase down a full speed Hecarim with this item, bro.
You make Caitlyn look like she got movement speed, bro.
it's actually crazy, but yeah. I mean, I like this item. I mean, every time I get this item, fucking Aiden calls me the singed at bottom because I always leave little trails and shit. But this one's a really fun item. I like it. Zeke's conversion, old Zeke's.
Old Zeke's, baby, let's go.
Man, I'll take old Zeke's. Amazing for my homie Brad, so I'm taking it. Locket of Iron Solari.
Same thing.
Does not get the armor and magic.
Oh, that one was kind of big.
Yeah, that's kind of big. So it once you basically build it, it doesn't really help it like early game, but the active is still fucking broken. So I'll take it. Warmogs.
Yeah, no one's building this item. Okay, is it just me or is Warmog still like just a bait tank item? Like
still a bait.
It always has been, but it's funny. There's nothing wrong with it. We're losing haste and getting MS, which is kind of okay. Jeremy, what do you got, Carl?
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that they made it like more expensive too, it's like I don't like. There's no point in fucking building this item.
All right, Jeremy, walk us through Jack Show.
Jack Show.
Jack Show, it loses the haste, and I think the main thing is I don't know how good this item is. I just know that if you upgrade this item on Ornn, it's bugged and it's like giga broken right now.
Yeah. True.
Yeah, that's like the main thing I know with the item for. I know some Reptile on Twitter talked about every ADC can just like second or like third, fourth item was it Terminus plus this, and you just go like you're just basically recreating the Varus build at the end of the season, the tank Varus build.
Yeah.
And
all right, let's talk about the worst win rate item in the whole game.
Yep.
The thing is about this is they buffed it. There's nothing wrong with this item. It just sucks in the current meta. I don't know. Like I don't see any problem with Deadman's play. I don't know. Do you, Jeremy? Like I don't see any problem with it.
I think the main thing is everything got like tons of stats, while this one stayed the same. Like every other tank item just infinite stacks and then good passive. This passive is like you go fast sometimes.
Sometimes.
Like until you auto attack.
Yeah, just fucking build Trailblazer at this point. Like that's so.
Yeah.
And Randuin's pretty much the same item. Strong against crit, whatever you need. Force of Nature is still here. Pretty strong. MR a little bit lowered. And we still got the passives and whatnot. IBG is now 2600. We still got Sheen. Also, we forgot to mention about Sheen. It's 1,000 gold now. It builds out a glowing moat. It sucks. I mean, no, it's a strong item, but it sucks. That's 1,000 gold now. IBG is back, still strong. I know Carl likes to build it on Shen.
Sir.
I like how it's only 2,600. It's gross because Yasu's are building it fourth. So you can build IE plus IBG now. So yep. Fibble Winter is now $200 cheaper. All the stats have changed. We still got Sunfires. I mean, I wouldn't see League without Sunfires, to be honest. Knight's Vow. I know Carl, you still build this. It's the same item. You got a little bit more armor for less health. I don't like that. I like the health more because Knight's Vow, you're building it no matter what for your AD.
Yeah, and the fact that you're basically sucking up damage and you don't have any fucking health regen to make up for it, it's like, okay, cool.
It's still strong item though, for sure.
Yeah, it's still strong. Yeah.
Frozen Heart is giga cheap now. Like,
It's giga broken.
unbelievably. Like, this item is insane. I don't know why they did this. Okay, I was talking to Nash about this thing. This thing is gross, dude. Okay, like, Jerry, like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah.
tell me, like,
It's kind of giga broken. Like I watched LEC because of how cheap this. You just second item this on jungle. So
Yeah.
you just second item this. You still have the broken passive, and then you lose 20 armor. But why do you need 90 armor in the first place? Like,
bro, you got dude, Vi rushing Sundered Sky into Frozen Heart is so gross. I don't know why they did this.
They queue into they literally is One Punch Woman. Going into lane like, and then okay, you're dead. Like,
all right, assassin items. Weird spot, to be honest. There's just so many options for them now. They're in a item identity crisis. This thing, I'm pretty sure they only made this for Jin. I haven't seen anyone use this item. The Voltaic Cyclosword. Like, I don't know if you guys disagree with me, but I'm pretty sure I've only seen this built on Jin. They gave assassins a Kerchi shard item, which seems weird because I don't know why they would bring Fleet to synergize with it because they're assassins. But I've only seen this built on Jin.
yeah.
I feel like this is just a Jin item as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen many people build this, but I mean, it looks fine. It looks okay. I think the main thing is there's other value items that are much like broken statted, so I'm not sure how good this actually is because I think those are getting nerfed next match.
All right, I think we got the biggest bait item in the whole season. Profane Hydra. It's strong. It's got a lot of stats, but I don't see myself building it first on a lot of assassins. I've seen a lot of like Nefiris build it. It's okay. Like T-Bat is cool for like shove and roam, but like Yomu's first is a little bit better. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like only buildable on like Rengar, but like
right,
I don't know. I know it's good on Rengar, but I don't know who else you'll build this on.
Yeah, but I feel like Raph Hydra is just like a better item than I don't know.
I mean, this gives you lethality. You're just going for one shot. You buy this plus the next item.
Okay. All right. Like, I know this is a meme, but I was just talking with my friend Brandon with this. This thing is strong now because it's 3K.
Yeah, this is actually good. Yeah.
They the passive passive ego, when you kill an enemy trainer, you're granted a statue of yourself. I don't know why this is part of the passive. I don't know why they put a passive this, but Eminence, when a champion that you have damaged within the last 2 seconds dies, gain 10 plus 1 per rank of statue, attack damage for 60 seconds. They've now buffed it to 15 base, which is super strong as a rush item, because if you get this item and you somehow give Kha'Zix a random kill in the jungle, this guy is running across your whole map and killing another person. Like, this guy is not stopping from killing you. And I'm going to be honest, Jeremy, I think you need to try this with Draven again.
It's now 15 plus 2, and it's 90 seconds. So you can actually like make use of the timer. Before it's like, basically you just get infinite AD for one fight, but now you actually can like, after a fight, you can come back to lane, and then you can like actually use the extra stats again.
Yeah. All right, opportunity. This one is interesting. Not a rushable item. Doesn't give haste. A lot of assassins like the early haste. After being out of combat with champions for 8 seconds, gain 5 to 10 lethality based on level. This lethality lasts for 3 seconds after dealing damage to champions. If a champion dies within 3 seconds, gain 150k movement speed for 1.5 seconds. This is just a talent item. I can't see this being used on anyone else, but I don't know. It's a strong. See, this is the thing about the new assassin. It's a strong item, but I feel like there's just so many other things to build.
Yeah.
All right, we got Brutalizer's back. Woo! Brutalizer's back. Okay. Grudge. Same thing, right? Pretty much.
Yeah, I think the main thing is you can't stack the armor pen items anymore.
Right. Yep. And also, Grudge is now. You now have to build Grudge with lethality. You can't just build Grudge randomly now.
Yeah.
I know. Like Aatrox, like they would just like go like what Goredrinker, Cleaver into Grudge. Like they can't do that anymore. Like they have to commit. They have to build something else now. This is interesting. Oh, Dirk 1K. Woo! Yeah.
Yep. 1K.
Yomu's. Finally, we're back to cheap Yomu's. No more haste. But we still got that movement speed. which is pretty good. So it was back. Axiomark. I still hate this item. I still will never build it.
I think the passive is slightly buffed, but if you like you did the math, the passive slightly buffed, but it's basically the same item.
I still will never build it. Okay, this is a big one. Glaive is now $30 more. So Pantheon support, Set support, Ash support. You gotta work a little bit harder. But yeah, but it's the same thing still. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
Same thing.
this item at 20 is kind of broken.
Let's see. Anything when a smarter word reveal traps its awards ready for 8 seconds. Text do 3, 2. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And Serpent's Fang, they made it cheaper. That's it.
Yep.
They made it cheaper. All right, marksman items. We got a solid 1 new marksman item, and all the mythics changed, and that's it. That's it.
Yep.
But let's talk about the overpowered one. It's right here in front of us.
Terminus.
Mr. Terminus himself. Yeah, this thing is crazy. The only thing it's missing is crit, which they didn't give because I've been too broken.
Yep.
But 40 AD, 30% attack speed is just nuts. Not only that, but they gave it the on hit passive, and they gave it 2 more on hit passives. So yeah, this item is just crazy strong for no reason. Buildable on most AD carries.
Yeah, like even though the stats don't look that good, like the first passive or it's just like even the stats don't look broken. Like all the passives are giga broken on it. It's like 2 of the best passives in the game.
Yeah, and what's hilarious is they fucking follow it up with the next item that procs your fucking
Yep.
which is crazy.
Yep. Goose is the same thing. Not much to say about Gunzus.
Oh yeah, it doesn't reduce your crit anymore.
Does it not?
No.
Conversion is removed.
Yeah. Wait. No. Oh yeah. Tax still 30%. Oh yeah. Crit convert. So you can. Oh, it's okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Yep. IE not changed besides the build path.
Not mythic.
Not mythic. 100 less gold for 5% less crit check damage, which is fine. Navori still here. We're still chilling.
Yep.
GA a little bit more expensive. No longer can build on a stopwatch. It sucks, but still gonna build it last. I mean, it's GA.
It's GA.
Yeah, it feels a lot worse now because before you were stopwatch into Guardian Angel, so you basically had 2 GAs. Now it's like you were just sitting on like a BF board. Yeah.
Shield Bowl still the same. Kraken still the same. LDR's a little bit still the same. Giant Slayer, yep. PD is still shit. Don't buy it. 2080 is just horrible. They need to buff it. Don't ever buy this thing. RFC is still the same. Static Shiv is still the same. Store Razor, Collector, Essence Reaver.
Oh, Collector's broken right now.
What is?
Collector's broken right now. They just kept the same stats and you just buffed the AD by 5 and lethality by like and then like you live lethality by 2, but you get like 5 more AD, which is like almost 200 gold for the stats. Yeah.
Essence Reaver still the same. All right. Support items. Carl, walk us through how support item works.
Oh man.
Okay, so support items, you generally start with the same item for all supports. So you start with this map called the World Atlas, which basically reacts like what's that support item called? Like Runic Shield?
Relic Shield?
Oh yeah, Relic Shield. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So basically it procs Relic Shields for either ranged or melee. Doesn't matter, it still procs the same, either if you're melee or ranged. And then once you hit the barrier of how much is that? 500 gold, it transforms into the next item, which is Runic Compass, which is your warding item. And then after that, once it hits the 1,000 gold cap, it hits Bounty of Worlds, and by that time, you then choose what your next support item is gonna be. So
and we got 5, right? 5 to choose.
You got 5. You got, and my most favorite one is Santa's Sleigh right there because it gives you anything support item that gives me movement speed, I'll take it. But anyways, you got 5. You got Celestial Opposition, Solstice Slay, Bloodsong, Dreammaker, and Zazax, a Realm Spike. So
pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. So I like the changes. I like it streams. Support is a very vital role in the game, and streamlining it for anyone basically making it possible for anyone to play this goddamn role the best way possible, I'm up for it. Because I swear to God, if I'm not doing support, people be doing it wrong. But yeah, so I like the changes. And then for the items that they transform into, it's basically most of that. Like Solstice Slay gives you movement speed. Blood Song basically is a
It's a sheet.
Yeah, it's basically a shield. Dreammaker, your best healing item, or like the support shielding item. And then Zazak's Realm Spike is basically a more like damage dealing item. So, and then Blood Song's like the more like a magic pen item,
Yeah.
or something like that. Like more damage the more you hit them with your skills. And then Celestial Opposition, your tanky item. So
Yeah. It's really cool. It is a little bit confusing. I had someone sitting on the Bounty of Worlds for like the whole game. They didn't know like you should.
Yeah, because they didn't know what to click or whatever like that.
Yeah.
So they're just sitting on Bounty.
Yep. All right. Enchantment items. Oh yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah. Right now these items are giga broken.
They're
I know
all broken.
The Chinese strat right now is 4 support items and a jungler.
Oh, we should do that after the podcast. We should actually.
ADC's first back for there's Relic Shield or like the new support item because you can track off hitting champions, and then you just sit on Bloodsong because Bloodsong is Sheen plus PTA on 500 gold. So just instead of paying,
we should try it. We should actually try it after we were done recording.
Bloodsong is broken.
Ooh, maybe that's a new YouTube video idea. That's crazy. All right, I'm excited now. I'm ready to wrap this up. All right, enchantment items. Glowing Boat. The Jeremy's most hated item in the game right now. 200 equal for 5 haste.
It sucks.
Why did they add this?
All right, Dog Core. This one is just like an enchantment item that's just like pure ability power and haste with like heal shield power based on magic. No, this one's weird. I haven't seen anyone build this one yet. I've read it though. Exophilia is still here, which is strong. Staff is still here. Sensor is still here. And that's basically it. So support is basically. We're chilling. Like support is strong. It will always be strong, but
thank God.
But I do like how they made all the enchanter 200 more gold. All the items 200 more gold.
Yeah.
Doors Blade is back to life steal instead of Omnivamp. Thank God Omnivamp was so toxic. And Ring is still here. Cool. Yes. Everyone remember the Ornn item upgrades. This one's actually really important. Yep. Don't
War mates already figured it
out. Make sure to leave Infinity Edge in slot 1 instead of your Storm Razor because that sucks when the Storm Razor gets upgraded, not the IE.
I think the best one is Kraken Slayer. Like Kraken Slayer is the best one, and then IE is like second best for ADCs, and then for APs, it's just basically always Death Cap.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Rooms Triple Tonic. At level 3, again, this replaces perfectly timed stopwatch because that was toxic. At level 3, Elixir of Avarice, gain fracture damage on hit against minions, and then at the end of the effect, gain 40 gold. At level 6, gain Elixir of Force, on use, gain Adaptive Force for 60 seconds. And at level 9, Elixir skill, on use, gain a skill point. The biggest one this is used on is Udyr, because he has more than 18 skill points, which is super insane. We got Tower Adjustment, we got rank changes, and we got Carl's favorite edition, Fist Bumps, baby!
Hey, anytime a homie puts that shit out, I always return the favor, bro.
Yes, sir. Yep, we got dynamic music. No one cares about that. In-game quest. Sure, man. Sure. Okay, we got ARM, Mythic Shop.
Weird.
Yep. Okay, here we go. Skin review. We're finally at the last part of the episode. We got skin review, baby. And let me tell you, these skins are sick. Okay, like these ones are one of the better ones they've released. In the recent times. Let's start with Dragon Master Kassadin. Who wants to go first?
You got Kassadin. You got Kassadin.
All right. This one is sick. The splash art doesn't match Kassadin, but it's sick. Like I don't know what to say. Like I never imagined Kassadin getting a Dragon Master skin. But I do like it. Who wants next skin?
Hey, Rakan 10 out of 10. I fucking love this guy. The ult looks sick when you ult. I fucking love this fucking skin. 10 out of 10 for me. I fucking love the art, splash art for the skin as well. So
yeah, that skin's sick. I think the skin line's sick. The next one is the Fiora. this item or this skin looks super cool. I just love the color. I think the skin line just looks super nice.
Yeah. And then we got another Vayne skin. I like
Another purple vein skin.
I like the aesthetic with the dragons and her bow. And of course we got the Prestige skin because Zaya has
Fuck
one, but not
yeah.
Rakan yet. So we got a Rakan one, baby.
Finally.
Yeah. But yeah, that sounds good. Wow, long podcast, longer than I expected. But hey, I enjoyed my time here. That's gonna be the podcast. I'm gonna thank Carl for joining us for this fabulous episode. We'll probably have him
fun.
back for our rotation episode when we talk about Pokemon rotation all the way in April.
Yes,
So yeah, that's gonna be a good time. Jeremy, do you have anything else you'd like to say?
Sending off my rapid strike homies, man.
Yeah, I think that's a long episode. I think we covered a lot today.
Yeah, Carl, would you like anything else to say before we sign off?
It's fun. It was a fun episode, y'all. Really enjoyed my time. Super fun vibes, and I want to be back. So,
all right, guys, thank you so much for watching the episode. Make sure you do check out our holiday episode as it was really fun to record. I know we don't do weekly anymore, but we want to weekly. To us, it kind of felt like repetitive and talk about the same thing over and over again. So doing it bi-weekly or every month, or not bi-weekly, every other week or every month, Jeremy and I get more time to prep and talk about bigger topics. So yeah, because every week it kind of felt like just local recap, and then that was it. So yeah, that's gonna be our update for 2024 for future episodes. So I know a lot of you people like the weekly, but I know a lot of you like the meaty, kind of longer episodes. The 45 episodes weren't really working. So yeah, this is going to be kind of the format we're going with for the next few years. Also, helps keep us. Help the longer episode, the once a month episodes helps us during our busy schedules during schooling. So yeah, Jeremy, why don't you go ahead and sign us off?
Yeah. Don't forget to check us out on. I think we have Instagram, we have Twitter, we have a Spotify if you are listening on Spotify, or I guess, and our main platform is I guess right now YouTube. I will make a poll for the what's he cooking later, and then yeah.
All right, see ya.
See ya.